welcome to Aussie BBQ Tales. In this episode, we show you how to make a fire in your backyard without smoking out your neighbours. Then, Mike uses hot coals to barbecue his marinated pork and herb-infused veggies. We take a visit to Billabong Brewing to hear the boys talk about where beer flavours are going next. And to finish up, we ask some of the girls in barbecue whether they're living in a man's world. Welcome to Applecross, the beautiful place that I live, just across the river from Perth City. With big gum trees, you'll often catch me scavenging around for some wood after a windy day.
So I've collected our wood this morning from all over Applecross, and now what I'd like to do is show you how to make a fire without smoking out your suburb. So I always start with kindling and things that'll burn quick on the bottom. And the trick is to making one of these fires that light up quickly is to make sure that you've got a lot of air in your fire to burn. So you can see I've started off with kindling, small sticks, bigger sticks, and I'm starting to make a bit of a teepee to keep that air flow underneath, to keep that airflow happening underneath. Here we go. We're ready to light.
Even though we'd get away with directly lighting our kindling, it's best to use fire lighters just to make sure the fire catches easily and quickly. And just to be double sure, I like to light both sides of the pit. And as you can see, fire number 1 is going off without a fuss.
So now that they're going, I'm happy to stick some bigger chunks on there. I normally wait till the flames are licking up the sides before I do that, otherwise you can choke your fire. So let's do that now. Stick a couple of bigger bits on the fire. And then we'll let it go for half an hour and we'll come back and there'll be some beautiful coals burning down for us. So this is one of my favourite dishes to make when I'm grilling on coals. And what I do is I buy the cheapest cut of pork I can, and this must have been about $8 a kilo. And I think it might have been this shoulder, but it doesn't matter. As long as it's a big lump and has lots of fat in it. And you might see here, it's got quite a bit of fat through it. Now what I like to do with this is cut it into strips about this size so that it doesn't fall through the grill. I try to get as much of the marinade flavour to cover as much of the surface of the meat as possible. It's a really simple and yummy recipe. So all we need is a bit of salt and pepper, about a tablespoon, but everything here it's to taste. About 3 tablespoons of fennel. I like to grind mine up before I use it. About half a cup of apple cider vinegar, or thereabouts. And about maybe half a cup of peanut oil. So grab my spatula and I just mix it in. I like to give it a bit of a knead, just so it gets in. And then what we'll do is put it in the fridge for 24 hours. The longer the better. You can put it in for 2 days. I'll do it for 2 days. So I love my veggies whole, but lately I've been adding a few more things. And you can get creative with this. So with these onions, I'm just going to slit them in half, cut up some chives, put them in some butter with a bit of salt, half a teaspoon. Give it a little mush up with a my baby spatula. And you can put in as much or as little as you want. I might go again. I might put some more chives in. I always find that fresh herbs are best. So really simple, a big smash. As big as you can do, together. Bit of a squeeze so you get a bit coming around the outside. Try and hold it together as you roll. Gentle squeeze so you don't tear your foil. These are sweet potatoes. Yum. I find that sweet potatoes, because they're a fragrant flesh, that they go well with something like thyme. Really, the thyme has a real aromatic flavour and smell. And what I like to do is mix it in with a bit of butter. And you can do it with olive oil if you like. And you don't need to go too hard on the chop because it's going to get baked anyway. Let's give it a squish. And this one, I'll put a bit of pepper in this. Put anything in you want. Paprika, salt and pepper. Really, just go for it. Okay. Spread. Spatulas are really good to use for this stuff. And what I like to do is take them out of their foil, and you'll see later on when I do that. So whatever leftovers you got, scoop them all into a bowl, put a bit more butter or put a bit of olive oil or peanut oil into it, and we'll use it for a baste for later. Oh yeah, they're looking good. Yeah, ready for these. So I sort of partly submerge them, making way from a sweet potato. I need a longer pair of tongs. So I couldn't help myself, but I buttered up some cauliflower, and I will baste them in our leftover baste. And they don't take too long to cook, but you can put them on any time and take them off any time. So I'm just going to lay them here and see what happens. And I'm going to give it a bit of a dab. You can see that it's smoking up the barbie a bit, but that'll put a lovely toasty, smoky taste on it. I like to turn them around and check if they're soft. All right, these are looking good. They're smelling good. And they're ready to open up and to put onto the coals in the basket. So let's do that now. That's looking great.
What are you doing, Mike?
What I'm going to do is put them back on the fire and give them a bit of a charcoaling. So I cut them up, baste them up, and then I put them back in and let them just steam up a bit more and get some of that kind of charcoal flavouring happening. Yummy. But first, before I put them on, use the rest of my baste. And we'll get the meat going too. And I think my cauliflower's looking great. Yum. Okay, let's just chuck these in here too. Coals are beautiful. Look at that. They're beautiful. Absolutely sensational. You can hear that sizzle. I always keep a little bit more for a bit of basting as they cook. Thanks to our friends at Billabong Brewing. Oh, the Nipah, I love it. I love the Nipah.
You gotta get it. 2-finger head on there.
See, I like less head on my beer because that means I get more beer.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Not long to go now. As you can see, the marinade's working its way through it. My veggies are looking great. Nice and soft. I think we're ready to eat. Let's go. So these are, I'm going to whack the veggies over here. But, oh, these are, the pork's looking beautiful. Let's have a taste. I'm going to have a taste.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Let's do one of these. They shouldn't be too hot because I've just got them nice and sitting nice and warm there on the plate. Okay, let's go. I think your wife will like some of these, mate. Okay.
You love it.
Fresh is key, and everyone knows that. Brewers have known that for a long time, but consumers know that now as well. So, which makes it tough to sell, a lot of beer these days because they're so educated. A lot of the beer consumers, they'll a lot of them, especially the beer geeks and the beer lovers, they'll want the freshest possible beer they can get, which makes double check and use by date. As soon as a beer hits a market, the guys will make a big deal out of it, and it'll be gone on the first day or even before. So yeah, people are really onto it, but for a reason. Fresh is the key. Fresher the better. Beer is a natural product, so it's going to start deteriorating from as soon as it's made. Generally, the fresher the better. You want to drink it as fresh as you can. There are some styles which will last. You can drink 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 years longer, like your barrel aged stuff, your imperial stout, anything bottle conditioned, especially the stronger stuff. Hops and alcohol are natural sort of preservatives, so they'll keep a beer longer, and you can keep it and store it as you do a wine. A lot of guys do that, so a lot of breweries will put out a once a year release. Generally, the sort of style that can handle will be an imperial stout or something like that. It's got a lot behind it, and the beer lovers will buy that, put a bottle down, like the vintage ale, like Cooper's have done over the years. I know Ryan's a big fan of the old Cooper's vintage. He's got a little secret selection stashed at home, which hopefully he'll invite us over and we'll drink some of that. But generally, the fresher the better, and everyone's realised that's good.
What it is beer deteriorates very quickly. People think due to the mass-produced stuff being pasteurised, left out in the sun, in and out of cold rooms, even with that beer, it deteriorates quite quickly under those circumstances. But a lot of small production beer is not pasteurised, which essentially means it hasn't been heat treated to stabilise the product. Things like refrigeration and keeping a refrigeration chain from production through to sales to your customers is always important. The other side of it is, as you say, fresh. Some styles are more susceptible to it than others. The ones that everybody's drinking at the moment, so the hazy IPAs, the double dry hopped IPAs, or pale ales, the New England IPAs. I know I'm saying IPAs a lot, but that's essentially what they are. These big new hops, as we've found, need to be treated with a lot of respect. They also deteriorate from the beer very, very quickly. So when you drink one that's a couple of days old in comparison to one that's a month old, you'll notice quite a substantial difference in the freshness of the hop.
That's a very pointed question. Yes and no, and I'd like to think not. I'd have to say there's very few ladies in there that are standing up, but at the same time there's a great bunch of guys that are inviting the ladies in, and I guess that's a perception that the ladies need to realise, is that it is blokes and their barbecues, but we stand beside our blokes.
Do you think you're living in a bloke's world here?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
No,
no,
not
really, because there's so many more women that are competing.
We've got some all-women's teams out there.
as well, and they're getting into it just as much as the men, if not more.
One even called the Smokin' Sheilas. Yeah, they're one of our good competing teams.
And they're getting into it. The girls are just they're getting into it in a big way. I tell you, they're going to outcook these boys.
Yeah, I'm aware there's not as many women cooking, but the women who I've spoken to about it, they're just equally as passionate, for sure.
Who were the first people that barbecued? It was women. Back in the cave days. The man went out, killed the thing, brought it back, and the women cooked it over the fire. So really, us blokes are just trying to perfect what women started, basically.
Well answered there, Norm.
It is.
I'll say yeah to win some points. Yes. Yeah.
Good answer.
There are so many ways to barbecue these days, but today, Claire gives us a rundown on what she can do in a pellet smoker.
What we're going to do today is just pull apart this Y bone, which has been cooking for about 6 hours in the timberline.
Whoa.
So this is a really popular cut. If you were to roast this at home, it'd be quite tough, but we're looking for that pull apart, gelatinous, sticky. So this is the actual Y bone. So you know when the meat's done because it will come apart and the bone should literally just pull out, like so. So this is your Y bone. Most butchers will do this usually for around $14 a kilo. You may be able to get it cheaper depending on who you go through. It is still quite warm. It's been resting for about an hour and a half, but we'll shred it. We're going to add some more barbecue sauce in. You're just going to pull it apart so that you can add your beef sauces to it. I'll just flip that over.
This looks awesome. So how long did this take?
So I put it on at about 3 o'clock this morning. So if there's bags under my eyes,
Okay.
that would be why. I tend to use my hands a bit more on this top bit because it's a little bit more muscly.
So 11 hours.
Usually between 6 and 8. It really just depends.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on the actual.
But you've been sitting it for a while. And
I have been sitting it for a while, yeah.
Nice. Look at this.
Ooh.
Well, good job.
Yeah, I just need a little bit more space up here. So normally we would use heat-proof gloves.
Well, gutsy move. Whoa, I love it. That looks so good. So you put your own rub on it this morning?
Yeah, so this morning we actually used the new Lily Q's sauce for it, just to mix in with a little bit of beef stock and a bit of beer, just to give it a slight sweetness. And then we're going to run through with a bit of Blue Hog and a little bit of the Traeger sweet heat, just to give it a little kick.
Yep.
And that's basically it. You can serve it either with slaw in a roll, or you can serve it on little biscuits. It can go into, if you overcook it, we're pretty famous for putting it in pie mixes. They're great in toasted jaffles with cheese. You can make pulled pizzas with them as well. So if you want to shred the meat and put it on a pizza, add the cheese, you're good to go. But it's basically that. We'll add the sauce, mix it through, and then serve it to all the lovely customers. So these have been cooking for about half an hour. The reason we don't sauce wings straight away is because anything with a high sugar content is going to burn for any prolonged amount of time at a high temperature. Okay. So we smoke them at about 350 Fahrenheit. You can go higher if you want it quicker, but usually about half an hour. We're going to sauce them up, mix it through, put them back on, and in about 10 minutes they're going to be sticky, sweet, beautiful tender meat. So this is the Timberline. It's from Traeger. The great thing about these smokers is that they're completely set and forget. So you can set your temperature. We lost a wing there. You can set your temperature, walk away, and know that it's going to keep constant temperature, but still with that beautiful smoky taste. Lots of real estate, so you're going to be able to fit in a nice big brisket, lots of racks of ribs, wings, sausages, and then you just take them off as they're ready. Inside here, if you want to come a bit closer, you'll be able to see this is where your pellets go in.
Pellets are, yep.
And then we have an auger, which is basically a big screw, that's right, which runs through the middle of the system into a burn pot where hot air and an electric element ignites these pellets. These are made from fruit wood, and they look like chook pellets, but that's where your heat system comes from. They are technically still a wood-fired smoker, but produce fantastic results. Mo Cusson came over last year and won one of the smoking competitions on a GMG, which are very similar to the Traegers.
So they're allowed in smoking competitions?
They are allowed in smoking competitions, yeah. So because they're running and their main source is still on wood, it's still classed as wood-fired. They're becoming more and more popular. The Kamados were probably our #1 seller for a long time, but I would say in the last 6 months that the pellet smokers have definitely taken over. And it's that whole set and forget. I can get up at 3 in the morning, turn this on, put my meat in and go back to bed and know that nothing is going to change temperature-wise. So these are available in a wide range of sizes and technology for the people that don't like Wi-Fi. You can just get an on-off button one, nice and easy to run. This sauce is my favourite at the moment. It is sticky, it is sweet. You'll see the thickness of it. The great thing about the thickness is it gives such a lovely glaze.
Oh, what a colour. It's deep, plummy.
So when we put that back in, that's really going to set that glaze beautifully. We have these rubs and sauces all on special. The other one that's nice is a white Alabama sauce, which has got a really mayonnaisey, vinegary taste. So if you pair that with a nice sweet, salty rub, that's going to give you a lovely, lovely flavour. So all we're going to do now is pop these back in.
So fruit and vinegar in that.
That's right, yeah, and salt, there's always salt and sugar.
Yep.
Just spread them out so that they're still getting a little bit of kick of smoke even at the end here on that glaze. There's a little bit of pink in there still and it's still a bit tight, so I know that that's not quite ready. Another 10-15 minutes and we're good to go. Anyone want to lick my fingers?
Welcome to Scarborough Beach, located on the Indian Ocean just north of Perth City.
Hi guys, I'm here with Ricky at Churras.
Hi guys.
And he's got a big beast of a truck full of food in the back there.
There it is.
What's happening in there?
Look, we have a food truck specialized in South American barbecue. So pretty much we get beef, chicken and sausage, and we put it straight on charcoal on our spit there, rotating, you know.
I've been in there having a look, right? I've been spying on the guys in there, right? And I noticed when they're skewering the steak on the meat, I'm looking for the magic spice, and it looks like it's salt.
Yes, everyone thinks there is a magic there, but actually it's not. It's just rock salt, you know? That's the secret, because the rock salt covers the meat outside and keeps the juice inside. So all the moisture is still inside the meat while it cooks.
And I noticed you put it on at the last minute.
Yep.
So you don't marinate it in the salt?
Not at all.
Before you cook it?
5 minutes. 5 minutes before.
Okay.
Just to give time to the meat to grab the salt, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, beautiful. So what else do you do, like with South American barbecue?
Actually, you do have a really special chicken marinade, which is very famous, and honestly, if I tell you, I have to kill you, so...
Okay, fair enough. I've seen the weapons back at your butcher shop, so I'm not going to argue, but hopefully we can come and see you make that sometime.
For sure. I'll show you exactly how we do, and bang, you try it home.
Now, the other thing I saw were the sausages on the skewer.
Yes, we have a special skewers for the sausage, which is like a trident that holds the sausage like perfectly. So that's it, easy.
And there you make those sausages,
yeah,
right?
I make all of them in our butcher shop, yeah.
Great, and I'm going to invite myself back to your place to watch you do that.
Done? Let's do it.
Awesome, man.
Thank
you.
All right,
okay.
I'll see you there then.
Yep, good.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
From all of us here at Aussie BBQ Tales, thanks for watching.